Hello, my name is Andrew Sherwood, and this is my ENME351 lab number 9. The sensor for my lab here is an Arduino compatible temperature, pressure, and humidity sensor, which feeds into the Arduino, which measures the readings. And then here's a servo here powered by the external battery pack that will read to you a value of the temperature and weather outside, factoring in the humidity and temperature into a dew point, and it'll tell you how humid and how ugly it is outside, how comfortable it is. And then the computer gets the info from the Arduino and prints it onto the screen like this. Here's my processing screen, and as you can see, it displays the instantaneous temperature, dew point temperature, humidity, and pressure in Fahrenheit, percent, and millibars. And this resets every 2 seconds, and then it plots this information on the graphs. We have the temperature graph on top and the humidity graph below. And this makes sense because I'm inside. So the reading here on the servos is very comfortable, and I am very comfortable inside. So now let's take this circuit outside and see what happens. Now that I'm outside, we can see on the processing code that the temperature has decreased slightly. So is the dew point and the humidity. Pressure stayed the same, so I'm at the same height. However, here on our meter, it's dry, and it is very dry outside. The dew point temperature is much lower than the temperature is. That's a good reading of how oppressive it is outside, as well as the humidity is low, so this makes sense. Now I have a diffuser that is emitting water vapor into the air, and the sensor is reading different values now. The dew point temperature is significantly closer to the temperature, and the humidity is much higher. Therefore, on my reading meter, the air outside, or in the Tupperware rather, is on the border between slightly uncomfortable and okay, because there's more water vapor in the air, and it's hotter, and the dew point temperature is higher. Now for a brief overview of my code. This is the processing code derived from the oscilloscope lab. So I've got my input coming in here from Arduino, and if there's 4 readings from temperature, dew point, humidity, and pressure, it continues. It maps these to different values on the graphs, and then we've got lines for the graph. We've got the data boxes, data texts, axis labels, and then it fills in the legend up top, and it fills in 1 point every other section. And this happens every 2 seconds. Here's my Arduino code. One thing to note is that I did have to obtain some code from Grove_BME280 from GitHub, and this was the code that is meant to go with the sensor that I bought to read data from that sensor. So I defined some different variables here. I included wire.h and the seed_BME280 libraries to interface with the sensor. First I check to make sure the sensor can communicate with the Arduino. Then I get the data, convert it to Fahrenheit if applicable, create a string, and send it to the serial monitor so processing can read it. And then I have some code down here that controls the servo motor that tells it where to point based on the dew point temperature.